relationship into a business conversation of how to talk about the business. That's one of my struggles, and I don't know how to overcome that.
Okay. So the first thing is I want to know more about like the kinds of things you're posting, because that's dependent on the kind of conversations you're going to have. Because if everything is, so the reason I say that is because most network marketing coaches, trainers, leaders, they train a lot of like this super attraction marketing style. And I think the problem with everything being attraction marketing is that people can't figure out what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like, maybe he's doing a business, maybe, but they don't actually know. And so one of my first things I want to say is just I would audit what you're doing. I would make sure that you're mentioning often, that there is some kind of opportunity, that you are running some kind of business, that your business has done this for you, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Because there's obviously different parts of it that aren't just monetary. And I would share more of that so that people at least start to have an awareness around you building something. And then when they start interacting on some of that stuff, you can jump quicker into conversations. So like as an example, especially on TikTok, if I do something like follow me, drop info if you want information on what I do, I'm not lollygagging. I'm not having small talk. That person literally raised their hand and said, I want business information. And from there, I'm immediately sending them a script about business. So if you start doing more of those, I don't want to call them aggressive, but whatever, some of those more aggressive calls to action, I think you can win faster. Okay. So I would just audit what you're doing. If it's a lot of like, hey, I'm kind of doing something, and you're like hiding, like, there's a lot of this these days, and people are like, what do? You're like, I don't want to talk about it. And they're like, what? So like, let the cover down sometimes. I'm cold, so I'm going to like it. But like, let it down sometimes and show people what you're doing.
No problems.
Does that answer the question? Do you feel more confident around that?
Yeah, so I'll watch what I'm posting. Obviously, I follow the rule of, is it 5-2-1?
Yeah, 4-2-1, yeah. But that's a ratio. So keep that in mind. So you can post more, and then when you're posting more, then throughout the day, you're going to be hitting it more often. You know what I mean? Okay. Like if you're posting 5 times a day on social media, then every other day you're going to be making a post that's directly about business. So it doesn't have to be only once a week you're mentioning business at all.
Right, okay. So that's what I was doing, making it only that ratio about the business once a week, rather than obviously using that ratio. I was obviously following it by the book, but obviously not thinking, I can post more than once a week about the business.
Yep.
Whereas 2 posts I then aim around the business, and then obviously I use my 4 posts about my personal life, or me personally, or my job, or anything like that.
So like, I mean, as an example, something that's like a 2, but it can also kind of be a 1, but you wouldn't have to count it as 1, is you could mention, like, I don't know how public you're being about stuff with your husband, etc. Like, and you don't have to be very public about it. You could say something like, I am in a horrible mood. Like, there are so many crazy is anyone else going through some personal stuff in 2021 already? Like, anybody else feel like 2020 put on a wig and showed up as 2021? Like, if you're feeling it, will you put a yes in the comments below? Like, you can say stuff like this without getting into the long drama of whatever. And you can say, this might sound so crazy, but I am telling you right now, I am drinking a new supplement for the last couple of months, and I am telling you it has visibly altered my mood. I would be in bed, unable to function under normal circumstances, and I am still getting up. I am sad, but I am still getting up and going about my day, and I would have never been able to do it without this.
No.
Like something like that, which is probably literally what's happening right now in your life. Like, you can, like, if you speak like that, it's not a direct, like, buy from me right now, okay? But it's a, hey, this is what I'm experiencing right now. Here's my life. Here's real life right now. Anyone else going through it? Let's talk about it. I've got something that's helped with my mood.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you. My next question is, you're very big on social media, so obviously over the last few years I've worked up my social media and my friends list and stuff like that. So, and I know that I asked Lee to briefly, I think I spoke about it with Lee and Tracy very briefly, but for me, obviously I didn't get much from that, for an example, as in like for me an answer as to such. But like, how do you determine, obviously because you're limited on your friends list, so how do you determine what to keep and what not to keep because obviously I'm already near that 5,000 limit. I have been, obviously every week I used to go through, and people who've removed their Facebook, I made sure they come off, or the ones who've deactivated, I made sure they come off, so I can keep adding new people or people to connect with. So one of my struggles is then when I'm at that limit, how do I determine what I keep, or when I want to reconnect with people on my friends list to determine what I keep and what I don't keep, or if I can have conversations with those people, how do you determine what to get rid of and what not?
Yep. So I don't even have 5,000 friends on Facebook. And I delete every day. So like you said, I go in and I delete deactivated profiles. That is one thing I do. But the second thing I do is every day, part of my daily method of operation is I send friend anniversaries. So if it's our Facebook anniversary. And then the second thing I do is I send birthday messages every day. So once somebody reads it, if they don't respond, I delete them. So that also allows me to connect with every single person on my friends list at least twice a year. So I'm constantly making room, and you'll be shocked at the amount of people who don't respond. And I thought that I've been teaching this for 4 years, just so you know. So I was like really scared when I started teaching it. I was like, oh my God, like people are going to I'm going to have a friends list full of engaged people. Prince, will you fill my water, please? Thank you. No, that didn't happen. It's been 4 years and I still am at like 4,100 friends or something. Yeah, so
that's one of my things is that so obviously like you said, birthdays, I always send birthday messages to every single person that pops up on my friends
if you can't say thank you or like even a thumbs up or like acknowledge it, but you literally saw the message, we're not friends. My friends talk to me.
No, agreed. And then so those two are the main things for me. Obviously, my one thing is obviously I have the script. I can have conversations about the product. I can add people into SPR. I can add people into WPI, Reprove It. I can do that. My one biggest thing was obviously having conversion, obviously having conversation, and then openly talking about the business. And that's like, and that's one of my biggest struggles is like I've connected with people from, that rule of going into groups and commenting on posts and that type of thing. It's then having that conversation of befriending them as such, as like I like to call it, but then bringing them into the business or having a conversation about the business. And that's my one struggle because I don't want them to think that's all I'm there talking to them about.
I mean, I just think that if you're constantly putting out value, people are going to look at your page and start asking questions. Sometimes it'll go fast, sometimes it'll take months, sometimes it'll take years. But like I got a message today from somebody who said, hey, long time no see. It's from 9 years ago was the last time we had an actual conversation outside of birthday messages. And she goes, but like I see all your stuff and I happened to like stumble across a live the other day and you were talking about how you can use one of your products as a pre-workout. Can you tell me what that is? And I was like, yes. You know what I mean? So like, I hate to be that honest person to tell you a lot of it's going to be the long game, but it is. And I don't think it's weird to talk about your business. I mean, I don't like the hey girl, hey hun, hey whatever. I don't like any of that. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with having business conversations with somebody. I don't think there's anything wrong with posting about business and tagging people and stuff like that you're having a conversation with. I think as long as you have the mindset that something's going to take a little longer than a week or a month, you're already winning. And then I don't think you need to feel bad,
No.
About connecting with people and showing them that there is a better way. And you never know what post is going to make people respond. You never know what post is going to make somebody feel something. And so that just, again, is why you've got to keep talking. You've got to keep posting. And remember that you can't overpost on social media. It's not a thing. Because there's so much noise on social.
Yeah. And I have two other questions. One's more about the customer side of thing and trials. And then the other one's about TikTok.
Okay.
So what would you say to anyone, obviously, who's with our business obviously including myself. If these people, obviously, because I see you have multiple stock levels and stuff like that to do trials, what's your advice about trials if you don't have the stock level, or should you only promote trials when you get the stock level, or?
I would still sell them, for sure, because you can pre-sell. So when we got started, that was our big thing. All of us were broke. Well, I don't know if I was broke when I joined Prove It, but I did not have income like I have now.